Hello, everybody. Welcome into Talking Fitchburg on this Friday, April 23rd, 2021. Jeremy Crosby here. Hope you had a wonderful day. Got outside, enjoyed some of those warm temperatures. They're back. Boy, did you go outside last night? We were just blown away on how warm it was. We actually opened the windows last night for a while because it just was so nice out yesterday. And hoping to do some of that this weekend. Chances of rain. We saw that in the update this morning from National Weather Service. But it doesn't look like a washout weekend. So get those projects done. Get outside. Have some fun. Andrew, you and I need to book our first fishing trip. It's getting close here, buddy. So hopefully, do you got your fishing license yet? Andrew, he said no. Andrew. Well, we're gonna work on that during the show today as well. All right, let's talk. We've got a lot of headlines to get to. We have a very special show today. We have Steve Tyson. You remember Steve Tyson, Wisconsin DOT? Yeah, he was the one of many of the different people who worked with DOT on the Verona Road project. He's back today because he's in charge of the PR for the flex lane on the Beltline. And we'll talk about that coming up with him. It's just been so long. So excited to have him back on the show. Plus, we have Chief Chad Brecklin here, as he'll give us a police update as well. So very busy show. So let's jump into the headlines. And we do start with the Beltline project and a closure. So we already know that the off-ramp at Fishhashy Road's been closed for quite a while. And now the on-ramp will be as well. Here's what we know. The eastbound Madison Beltline US ramp 12 and 18 to northbound Fishhashy Road will be closed starting at 7 p.m. on Monday, April 26th until the evening of Monday, May 3rd. Motorists must use alternative routes during this local closure. And it says here the Beltline ramps at Todd Drive in the eastbound Beltline ramp to southbound Fishhashy Road will be reopening on Monday night, April 26th. So changing one for the other, if that makes any sense. The ramp closure and work operations are weather dependent, are subject to change. The construction project is scheduled in completion of December of 2021, and is improving the Madison Beltline inside the median shoulder for the use of an alternative travel lane during the peak travel periods from east of West Whitney Way to exit to I-3990 interchange. Flex lane is anticipated again to open in late December of 2021 or early 2022. And again, we'll talk with Steve Tyson. He'll break down what this project is all about coming up in our digest today. All right, pancake breakfast happening this weekend, a fundraiser for the Fitchburg Senior Center Friends. You can head out to Hy-Vee and join them for the Pancake Breakfast Plus fundraiser. Yeah, from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., head out to the Hy-Vee Market Grill, 2920 Fitchburg Road, and you can do pickup or dine in. 10% of the proceeds of your purchase will go to the Friends of the Fitchburg Senior Center. So help out the Senior Center Friends group. Go have some pancakes, or as I told Andrew this morning, he can eat whatever he wants. I mean, he could have pancakes and steak. What? I don't know if that's him or not. Would you? I don't know if he would do that or not. Either way, you got to come out and do that. You know, it's so great to pick on Andrew. He's such a good sport about all of this, but mainly because he can't talk back to you out there unless you really get him going. Anyways, let's go on to the street sweeping contest. Everybody's like, why did he talk about this Andrew all the time? Well, Andrew wanted to participate in this, but he doesn't fit the bill because grades K through 12 can submit original artwork for consideration to be displayed on the side of the new street sweeper. Yeah, we're getting a new street sweeper. It's amazing. And if you kiddos can and want to do some artwork themed with some water quality themed artwork, you got to get that submitted by Monday, April 26th, 10 a.m. That's the due date. So there's been plenty of time to do the drawing. But if you're a last minute guy like I am sometimes, you'll work on it this weekend and turn it in on Monday. Instructions and more are at the website, OPIOID.gov. If you got any questions, you can reach out to Claudia Guy, our environmental engineer. She'll answer any of those questions. All right, that does it for our headlines. Coming up next, we open up the digest. We'll be talking about the Beltline Flex Lane with our friend Steve Tyson for Wisconsin DOT next right here on Talking Fitchburg.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us.
Ready?
That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today, boy, is it bittersweet. We've got Steve Tyson, Wisconsin DOT. Steve, welcome back to the show. Long time no see.
Yes, thank you, Jeremy. It has been a while, and it's certainly different not talking about Verona Road this time.
It certainly is, but we're talking about a very interesting project that you've been working on now for quite a while, and it's the flex lane on the Beltline or US Highway 12. Tell us, what is this project about?
So the Flex Lane project is the first of its kind in Wisconsin. There's 17 other states that have adopted this concept. It's called part-time shoulder use. So what we're doing on the Beltline between the Interstate and Whitney Way is improving the median shoulder for use as a part-time travel lane. So peak travel times, morning and afternoon rush hours, any special events, anything else, we can have that additional lane open. So it'll be 4 lanes each way during those peak times, just to improve the reoccurring congestion that we're seeing, address the backups again during those rush hour times, and have more capacity to get traffic through that area. So the Flex Lane project, again, the first of its kind in Wisconsin. Construction's going on now until December, and then we'll open up that new lane either late this year or early in 2022.
Yeah, it's quite the project. Tell us what's going on out there right now for what's being removed. It's pretty fascinating to watch.
Right. So the drivers traveling on that section, again, Whitney Way out to the interstate, there's lane shifts as well as narrowed lanes throughout the work zones. Crews have put temporary barrier wall along the median, and so they can remove the old barrier wall and the concrete through that area so they can improve the drainage through there. That's certainly another part of our project that we want to make sure we get done correctly when we're doing this, is improving the drainage throughout the 10-mile section of interstate, or excuse me, the Beltline, and then also working on the barrier wall so it has the message boards that'll be shown over the travel lanes with a green arrow when the flex lane is open or a red X when the flex lane is closed. And so that work is going on now, working near some of the bridge piers. You see the concrete being poured in those areas. And then once that work is complete, they'll be able to work on the final pavement resurfacing throughout that section. Again, interstate out to Whitney Way to have a new travel surface and the new pavement markings for that additional lane. The lane will be marked by a yellow solid line, and then having the 3 general purpose lanes, what we see right now on the Beltline, but again, only opening that flex lane during the morning and afternoon rush hours or for special events or incidents.
I was just going to ask you, what's the markings on the lane going to look like? Are they going to solidly paint them like green, like a green surface, or is it just that yellow line, and then you'll look for the signs for the green arrows?
Right. So there'll be that solid yellow line delineating the flex lane, and then there'll be the overhead sign. So it'll be a green arrow, downward arrow when the lane is open, a yellow X when traffic should merge back into the adjacent lane, and then a red X when that lane is closed. You'll see similar operations in other states. The closest examples are down towards Chicago as you go to O'Hare. There's the overhead signs marking those lanes, as well as up near the Twin Cities. And then our project, we've worked really closely with the Michigan DOT when they opened up their flex route. They called theirs on US 23 near Ann Arbor, and working on that project. And so a lot of great Midwest examples that can, again, alleviate that reoccurring congestion we see during the morning and afternoon rush hours, but noting that this is an interim measure as we look toward those long-term solutions, that this is not a be-all fix. This is just something that we are looking to alleviate some of that congestion now as we look toward those long-term solutions going down the road.
Certainly, a lot of people did ask questions, kind of figuring out how can this improve these things. When those lanes are open and more traffic is going through, does DOT anticipate difficulties getting people off the on-ramps, off-ramps as they move through? How does that kind of work out during the high periods of traffic? Will we still see traffic jams, those sort of things?
Right. So during the prior to the construction project, we had 120,000 vehicles on the Beltline every day. And most of the ramps between Whitney Way and the interstate have ramp meters to sort of control and handle the traffic merging onto the Beltline. And so that'll continue once this project is complete. And certainly there will be a lot of cars. You're still going to have some of your rear end collisions out there. And that's why we are doing our part in building this, improving the Beltline, improving that efficiency. And now we need to ask the drivers to do their part. And really it boils down to making sure that they keep their head up and speeds down on the Beltline. The Beltline speeds are 55 miles an hour. They'll remain 55 miles an hour for the foreseeable future. And drivers just need to make sure they slow down and be alert when driving through, because there could be a sudden stop or brake lights ahead for an incident or anything else. And we want to make sure that everyone is working in this together. Every driver makes a difference to keep everyone safe on the roadways.
Switching gears back to the construction itself, a lot of ramp work happening as well. Tell us why are they doing ramp work? Well, I have a good feeling I know why, but break it down on that ramp work that's happening with this.
Yeah, so at Todd Drive for the last month or so, we've had those various ramps closed, the eastbound on ramp from Todd Drive, as well as the westbound Beltline ramp to Todd Drive. Those ramps have been closed. Crews have been paving new concrete for those ramps, as well as just improving those connections on the frontage roads by Todd Drive and then connecting to the Beltline. So making those changes and then improving and adding a barrier wall essentially from Todd Drive to Fish Hatchery Road on the eastbound side, and having that barrier wall just separating again the frontage road there compared to Beltline traffic. And then we also had the eastbound Beltline to southbound Fish Hatchery Road closure. And that again was putting new concrete down, improving that as well, and having a little bit more base there to work with.
Fantastic. For finishing out this project, your timeline on that, and then are we going to do like some, we're going to have to do some big education here on getting in and out of the lanes for sure, but tell us how that wraps up and we start that process.
Yeah, so the Flex Lane project will wrap up here in December, and then we'll either open it late this year or early in 2022. And so there will be a lot of education and awareness about this project. And first, drivers can just search on YouTube for Flex Lane Madison Beltline and watch the operations video. It's about a 3-minute video that explains and sort of shows how this lane is going to operate, again with the green downward arrow, the yellow X and the red X. But that 3-minute video provides a good snapshot of what we can expect for Beltline commuters and certainly through traffic and everyone else using that lane. So a few more months to go, but we're looking forward to completing the project and having that improved efficiency along the Beltline.
Steve, I forgot to ask you about the lane closures and stuff in the time of construction. Seems like most of this has been happening at night, but overall, we should expect nightly lane closures or different closures as we do finish out this project?
Yes, so we will have nightly lane closures, typically between 7 p.m. and 6 a.m. There are some ramp closures and lane closures that start a little early, usually around 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. And that's just to allow the traffic, when the traffic volumes are down, allows the construction crews to get in there safely and complete the necessary work. And so that'll continue for the duration of the project. Again, 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. and then various ramp closures as well. We will have the eastbound Beltline ramp to northbound Fish Hatchery Road closed starting Monday, April 26th for about 1 week until May 3rd. But then at that time, the eastbound ramp closures for southbound Fish Hatchery Road, as well as the ones at Todd Drive, will reopen on Monday night, April 26th.
Perfect. Well, Steve, it's such an honor to have you back on the show and breaking this all down for us. Anything else to add to this Flex Lane project?
Just, of course, the reminder for drivers to do their part in work zones, to be alert, eliminate distraction, and keep their speeds down. For those interested in learning more about the Flex Lane, they can go to wisconsindot.gov/flexlane, or again, search on YouTube for Flex Lane Madison Beltline and watch the 3-minute operations video.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this project when it's finished, and excited to try out the lane when it's open. So, Steve, nice talking with you. Stay safe out there, and as this project gets closer to wrapping up, we'll get you back on here and talk about how to use the lane and all of those fun things moving forward.
Very good. Thank you, Jeremy.
You bet. Steve Tyson, Wisconsin DOT. Appreciate his time always. He's a busy guy. He's got a lot of projects going on, so we love having him here. We'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and do your part. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit any social gathering. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Visit Coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
It takes all of us to slow the spread of the coronavirus, so follow guidance from authorities where you live and stay home unless absolutely necessary. Use a delivery service for essential items like food and medicine. If you must make essential trips, stay 6 feet apart from other people. Wear a cloth face covering and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds as often as possible. Visit Coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us.
Ready?
That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from the Fitchburg Police Department is your Chief of Police, Chad Brecklin. Chad, welcome back to the show. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today, Jeremy?
Good. I don't think I've ever called you bud, so we'll start with that.
That's fine.
We've established that. We've got a couple of topics to get through. I do just want to again congratulate you on your new adventure. We'll spend more time talking about that path down the road, but our chief here will be eventually should be transitioning to city administrator. So, I'm not going to do any of my sad speeches yet until the May or later, whenever we get through this process. So either way, Chad, congratulations on that as we get started here. We'll talk. I'm not even going to let you answer. So there. We're going to start with the drug take back. The big national campaign is coming up here real quick. While we don't necessarily participate in that one day of mass collection, we do have collection here in the city of Fitchburg. So why is the drug take back, I'm going to call it a movement, but why is it so important?
Yeah, absolutely. So Drug Take Back Day is coordinated through the Department of Justice and the federal DEA. It happens typically twice a year. And yes, we have not necessarily participated in the formal event itself, which takes place again, as I mentioned, 2 times a year. We've elected to many years ago install a permanent med drop box within our police department. So that allows members of our community to stop by at whatever time is convenient for them, I should say, during business hours, of course, to have access to that med drop box here at the police department. So it's important to have these options available for a couple of reasons. One, it's not an environmentally sound practice to be flushing meds down the toilet and into the sewer system or a well and septic setup. Obviously, if there aren't other options available, perhaps that's something that you may want to do, but I would encourage people to go to the Safe Communities website, and that will identify all of the drop boxes that are located in the Dane County area. And then the second reason why a med drop program is a great option is it gets unwanted medications out of houses where they have the potential for being abused, potential for an accidental poisoning, and those sorts of things.
Yeah, definitely a good program, and it's something we've talked about in the past. And for business hours, what are your are the normal police business hours? So if people are interested, they know when they can come in and do that.
Yeah, so we are typically available in business hours from 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. And obviously, we've been closed for the pandemic, and we look to be reopening soon in the coming weeks here. So that will again grant access to that med drop box.
Perfect. On another topic, we do have construction back up and running again in Fitchburg. We're pretty used to it by now, but overall, given that our main thoroughfare, if you will, is a one lane in each direction thing, if you're just looking at overall safety and what your officers are out there making sure to keep everybody safe, what would you have for some safety tips?
Yeah, obviously, and we're in year 2 of the Fish Hatchery Road reconstruction from Brendan Avenue north to the city limits, or the Beltline, basically. And yes, it's down to one lane in each direction, and it does require our motorists to be aware of that. Please do not operate in a distracted fashion with devices like cell phones in hand. And in fact, there are state laws now that prohibit, from my recollection, even using a device in your hand. It has to be hands-free if you're in a construction zone, which that would be. And obviously, please reduce your speed. Watch out for other motorists and our construction workers within those work zones. And just to utilize the Department of Transportation slogan, give those folks a break by all means by slowing down and watching out. That is, for all intents and purposes, their workplace. And, we want to keep everyone safe. Motoring public, construction workers, any pedestrians that may be in there, and so forth.
Well, we want to keep people safe, Chad, as we do have the construction going on. If people do observe any bad behavior or stuff like that, definitely do want to report it. Where can people report any crime in general, but especially for keeping people safe in these construction zones?
Sure. If you have driving complaints, particularly that are in process or in progress, you can use our non-emergency number at 270-4300. Obviously, if it's an emergency type situation, please use 911. And then if there's, something that's really just more informational, there is an area on the city's website to report traffic concerns as well.
Perfect. All right, final piece here, and an important one. You've been working on your policies and procedures now, and putting out new procedures for people to review. There's a task force, or well, I'm going to call it a task force, but group of folks as well reviewing this. Where are we on that process?
Yeah, so we are in the process of a full policy and procedure manual review and update. And we started that in probably approximately February or so, early February. We do have an internal work group working on these policies. They're divided into 5 tiers, and we are just wrapping up the first tier of policies. And what's important for the purposes of the show here, Jeremy, is that we are offering an opportunity for community input during this policy review process. So every policy that we update, we are putting a draft out there on our police department website in a specific section. And those policies are added for a period of 3 weeks, which allows the public to review those policies and offer any feedback they may have by clicking on the link that's associated with the website and sharing that feedback that they may have. And then obviously we take a look at all the feedback that we receive and make any changes as appropriate and necessary. And then the policy looks to become implemented soon thereafter.
And Chad, when you were going to look at this, is this something that was planned? Is it something that's come with everything that's going on, or is it just kind of all hit at once here? And we're trying to, again, I love the process here. I think it's working great. But why now?
Yeah, so we've tried to do this internally a few years ago, and had a work group together. And in and amongst all of our regular duties, it was difficult to get this project fully accomplished and implemented. So ultimately, last year, we decided to contract with an outside vendor who has extensive experience in public safety policy development and procedure manuals. And they're now facilitating our review and update and providing a lot of guidance and structure to the process. And it also helps facilitate keeping us moving and on time, so to speak. Our goal ultimately is to have this manual updated by the end of the calendar year here. And then we can begin using the outside vendor to provide us with some regular training bulletins related to the policies and procedures to keep our team up to date. And then also the vendor will provide us with updates to the policies when case law changes or statutory practices change, or there are change in best practices. So it's going to be really helpful for our department moving forward, and make sure that our manual is reflective of best practices and any legislative requirements, and keeping our team up to date as well is going to be important.
Yeah, that's a lot of work behind the scenes there, but a lot of good things coming forward for that. One more time for people who do want to find that policy, Chad, and make comments, how can they do that?
Yeah, they simply go to the city's website and click on the police department section. There's been an area within our police department website that's identified for that policy feedback, or policy manual update feedback, I think is what it's called. So by all means, find that link, and then you can link to each of the specific policies, review them, and then again, use the included email address to submit that feedback to us.
Perfect. Well, Chad, I appreciate the time for the update, and we'll look forward to having you back next month. And I hope you bring some more warmer weather with you as well, and we can talk some safety on that front.
Sounds good.
All right, Chad Brecklin, Chief of Police here. Appreciate his time as always. Take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
Find good stuff at Goodwill and bring good home.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
So how was work?
It was 1,300 hours. My math class from 302 was in the trenches. Davy Roth had it the worst. Fractions were coming at him left and right. He just didn't get the damn things. 2 days ago, I tried to teach him what 1/4 of 1/2 was using different sizes of blocks. Yesterday, I tried again by dividing up pizza. Both missions failed.
Oh no.
But today, I was ready. I created a combat math game where the only way to beat the enemy is to out-fraction them. Davy conquered every last denominator. My game was so successful, the principal is deploying it to math squadrons all over the school. Anywho, how was your day?
Oh, today my boss treated the office to salad wraps.
Salad wraps.
I know.
Find good stuff at Goodwill and bring good home.
Well, welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Wrapping up the show for the day, I want to thank our guest, Steve Tyson, Wisconsin DOT, on the digest today, helping us out talking about the Beltline Flex Lane, and Chad Brecklin, the chief of Fitchburg Police Department, giving us the updates here from the police department. As we wrap up and head into the weekend, I've got this for you. You can stay connected with Fact TV. We haven't had a lot of time to talk about this in recent, it's always been tight shows this week. But we want to make sure you follow us on Facebook and YouTube. By the way, on YouTube, we've been posting up our city meetings starting in 2020. All of those are up there. So another way to watch any of the past city meetings on YouTube. We hope you'll join us over there. Otherwise, we hope you have a fun weekend. Get outside and enjoy that nice weather.